I'm pretty sure that my background was really messy in the last video too, and nothing's changed with it clearly, but it's so easy to just not comment on it. Here's another situation. Oh God, my eyes are so sensitive. Ever since my period came back postpartum, oh my good God. So I'm having a very hard time wearing contacts, driving, looking into computer screens, just generally being in daylight. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm not making eye contact with the camera very often because it's very painful to like look up into the light. But I wanted to do this video because I've been fucking had, okay? I joined Facebook because you guys actually forced me to. I said that I wanted to have places to discuss plants at length, and everyone was like, Facebook. So I did that. I joined Facebook, and I have become a target of Facebook ads. I get Facebook ads for two things and two things only, but relentlessly: pretty litter. Because I clicked on one fucking ad to see what was up because I was interested by it. I don't have a cat, okay? But I just thought it was interesting. And then I texted Alyssa about it, being like, maybe we should get this litter for Grunt. I don't know, just throwing it out there. And so now I get countless ads for pretty litter. And then beyond that, Il Makiage foundation, okay? I get so many fucking ads for this. And the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, I don't really give a shit. The second time I watched it, I was like, man, they must have a fucking marketing budget and a half. And then the third time I watched it, I was like, damn, that does kind of look like a good foundation match. And the fourth time I watched it, up until the 98th time I watched it, I was like, I don't know, maybe that's the foundation for me. They're kind of making it seem that way, so I'm just gonna fucking see what the whole, thing is about. And I went to their website, and they had like 400,000 reviews on their fucking foundation, and I was like, can 400,000 people be wrong? Probably, but I don't know. I actually have a good feeling about this foundation. I think that things could work out great for me here. I will say, I personally haven't supported this brand because at a time when I was very much moving away from PR because I felt like it was getting excessive and over the top and wasteful, et cetera, this brand released a PR package that said, I think it said like minimalism is dead or something like that, or I don't know, I can't remember, something along those kinds of lines. And then it was like this gigantic PR box with like a tiny little like lipstick in it or some shit like that. And I was just like, you're assholes, you know what I mean? But that's fine. Putting my differences aside to review this foundation, okay? I have to say, the way that they do the shade matching, because that's like part of their whole ad, is that they're like, it's the best match you'll ever have. And they have like, influencers putting on makeup, and they're like doing the swatch, and they're like, oh my God, like this matches so fucking well. Which like, I don't think I'll ever have that experience because my face is so red that like, it's not quite the same impact when you have like flawless skin and your skin's all one skin tone, you know what I mean? But that's part of the thing, is that like they shade match you. And then you can try a full size foundation for, it was 14 days. I got rid of the package. I think it was 14 days. And then if you don't want it, you can return it, which I have some issues with returns. That's for another fucking video. I mean, I think that's great for some people. Most people, really. I went to their thing, did the quiz. And basically what they do is like I think they first get you to put in like the foundation that you normally wear from like whatever brand. And if they don't have your brand, that's fine. Then they make you go like, okay, I'm this skin tone, like, and they show you a bunch of pictures, and then they keep getting you to click on more and more pictures of like what you're closest to, kind of thing. And then they send you the shade that they think is the best match. Just looking at this in the bottle, I do think this is going to be a good match, straight up. So I don't know, I feel kind of like confident about this actually. So I have my other makeup done. I have some concealer under my eyes, but everything else is just my normal skin prep, and let's do this. So I have like obviously my like serum, moisturizer, sunscreen, and stuff like that on like normal. And I'm just gonna go in and try this. I'm gonna do it with a big brush so that we can hopefully have the moment of being like, oh my God, this is the best match I've ever experienced. And then we'll go from there. Okay, I'm using my Rare Beauty, they don't call it anything, it's just a foundation brush from Rare Beauty. The one that does the tick, 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 tick. Seems kind of thick. I do feel like that's a pretty good match. Oh, I forgot to say also, their website is like fucking intense. I want to say it was either 3 products or 4 products that they make you decline before you can even check out. So like you go to check out, you're like, I'm fucking done shopping, okay? You go to check out and they're like, what about this product? And you have to say no. And then they're like, what about this product though? And you have to say no. And then they're like, hear me out, this product. And you say no or yes, whatever. And then they send you your product, and they sent me a free eyeliner with it. The whole thing is crazy. Like, I just can't even imagine how much money this brand is making that, like, first of all, they're able to send out a free product. Not that, like, I think that they sent me, like, an eyeliner pen, and I think that, like, the eyeliner pen probably isn't, like, you know, the most costly product in the world for them. It's just, like, in stock packaging, and it's probably, if I had to guess, fairly cheaply made. That's literally just an assumption. I have no idea. But still, the fact that they're doing returns the way that they are, and the fact that, like, they're just sending out free products and shit for people is, like, insane to me. Like, I don't know. I can't even imagine. And just the amount of fucking Facebook ads that they do. Like, they just must have so much fucking marketing money. It's crazy. I pumped out, like, quite a bit of this, and I feel like it's fairly thick because, like, it seems like my freaking brush is just, like, sucking up all of it. It's fairly full coverage, but it's actually less coverage than I was expecting because it just looked really, really, it's unbearably strong. The scent of it is unbearably strong. I just made the correlation in my mind that that's what was going on because I thought it was like tasting perfume in my mouth, and I like wasn't really connecting that's what was going on, but it is what I'm putting on my face. That is that unbearably strong scent. It smells like, whew. Oh, it's particularly bad right around your nose. I'm high off the fumes. It smells like just like pure alcohol, basically. I think this will be good for my sensitive eyes. I'll hold my thoughts until the end. I'm gonna finish applying this and then we can go back and go from there. I mean, the match I think is great. Like, in terms of shopping online, I think the match turned out fucking pretty good. Like, I feel pretty confident about that match, actually. I'm just gonna take a 4th pump, which is insane. I don't know why I'm needing to use so much of this right now, but I'm taking it. This is insane how fucking strong this is. Oh my God. I'm just gonna hold my breath while I apply right around my nose because this is intense. Is this like legal in all 50 states? There are 50 states. I had a moment of being like, is it 51? I don't live in the States, so like I don't know that much about your geography, man, okay? It is 50 states apparently. Let me zoom you in as much as I possibly can, and then I'm gonna turn down my lights a little bit so you can really see what's fucking going on here, okay? Oh, this thing takes so long to turn down though. Okay. It's not the most barren wasteland my skin has ever looked, but it's up there. I will actually say I'm having a fairly good skin day today. Like, I feel like I have less texture than, well, now I don't. Well, that looks particularly bad when the lights are down lower. And actually the match doesn't look so hot now either. Not that my foundation normally does match that well, because it doesn't. I'm a notorious non-matching foundation wearer. Oh, wow. Okay. There's moments where I sometimes feel so much younger than I am. Like, I'm like, wow, I just have like my whole life ahead of me, and I do. But like sometimes, especially now that I'm like a mom, sometimes when I'm walking around with my baby, I'm like, I wonder if people look at me and they're like, oh my God, wow, she's like basically a teen mom. Like, she's like so young. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't know why. That's just like what goes through my mind. I'm like, I must just look like such a fucking infant carrying my own infant, you know? This foundation, I think, really brings reality to light in terms of my actual age, and that I am in fact very much of a good age to be, you know, a parent. Yeah. This is a lot. It's just, it's dry, you know, it's a little dry. It, especially around here. Oh, it's crazy. It's like as if there is actually no moisture in my skin whatsoever, which is, you know, kind of fucking true. Not loving how it's settling into my fine lines here. It's just hard because it's like when you have textured skin, I feel like it's difficult to review a foundation because it's like my skin's going to look textured no matter what. So it's just basically like, how much more texture does this make my skin look, basically? But this is very dry looking, especially like on my forehead and stuff, and like right around here is pretty bad. I feel like here it's kind of gathering and like getting patchy in a weird way, which also my eyeshadow looks kind of patchy. That's a different fucking issue. Here's the thing. Give me 12 minutes. I'm just gonna quickly turn my lights back up, okay? Sometimes when I'm wearing foundation such as this, that applies very, very dry, because my skin has changed a little bit postpartum, it actually ends up being okay towards the end of the day, because it's like my skin has started like getting a little bit kind of oilier, and then it ends up looking all right. Like it's almost like they end up balancing each other out, you know what I mean? So it's possible that that's what could happen here. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I am choosing to do a little bit of a glowier kind of like bronzer, because I think that it'll just aid in how this looks. And honestly, that is how I would typically, if I'm wearing a foundation that's drier, then I would typically go with like contour and bronzers and stuff like that that are, well, I'm always wearing that shit anyways, that's creamy. But I'll go for like an even more luminous one so that it kind of, again, balances each other out. So I'm using my Auric Glow Lust in Sunstone as a bronzer right now. And then I'll do check-ins throughout the day and let you guys know what's fucking going on. So far, not adoring it. What is the worst foundation I've ever tried? Actually, you know what? I'm not a returner of things. It's extremely rare that I return shit, if ever. And usually if I do, it's because someone else pressured me to do so. But there was a NARS foundation many moons ago that I actually did return because it was just atrocious. And I can't even remember the name because that's how short of an amount of time it was like in my possession for. It was fucking bad, dude. Let me maybe put on my dancing shoes. Let me put on this fucking blush here. And then I'm going to, nobody cares about the rest of my makeup. That's not why we're here. And yet I'm gonna make you sit through it anyways. I'm gonna put on my little beauty mark. You know what, this already looks better actually since putting on my fucking other shit. I'm gonna take MAC Whirl, a little bit of it, which is not cruelty free, but I'm just using it up. And then I'm gonna take this new thing that I got from Cali Ray. It's glazed and infused plumping glassy lip trip in free palomas. Paloma? It has a lovely scent and it feels quite nice on my lips as well. And I like that I'm really selling this fucking lip gloss right now. I like that it's like allegedly plumping. I don't know how true that is, but I like that it's apparently plumping, but it doesn't feel shitty on my lips because I hate that. I hate when it's like burning. Like I don't mind like cinnamon in there or something, like a really light like tingle, but when it's like burning the shit out of your lips, I'm not down with it. Anyway, okay, it is, oh Jesus Christ, my fucking day passed me by. It's 1:05 p.m. in the afternoon. Good fucking God. It's 1 o'clock. Nobody gets ready this late in the day, but here I am. It's 1:05. I'm gonna do check-ins throughout the day and let you know how this fucking situation is holding up. My lighting is gonna get progressively worse, so everyone just prepare for that, okay? It's been a slice. BRB. Okay, oh my God, blinded by the light. If you hear some banging around, it's because my tiny baby doesn't want to nap. So they're just hanging out. Let's check in on this, shall we? So sorry, don't know if I mentioned. It's been 3 hours. I would say it's not gotten better. In fact, I feel that perhaps it's gotten worse. I mean, it's staying on my chin pretty well, and I was doing like a lot of like this situation just now over the past couple hours, and I feel like it's actually stayed on there pretty well, so that's good. It started separating on my nose quite a bit, which like, I'm no stranger to that because obviously, oh God, I wish I could fucking look up at the camera, but I honestly can't. My eyes are so sensitive. I'm no stranger to that because, you know, I like me a glowy foundation, so I'm not too concerned about it like breaking up like that. Very dry around my like whole face region around here and on my forehead and stuff like that. And I don't feel like it's gotten any better as the day has gone on. I don't mind the texture of it as much where like I put like cream products over top, but I mean, that's because of the cream products over top, not because of the product itself, you know? So I'm not loving it. I don't think that at this point, this is a foundation I'd ever reach for. I'll probably continue to do check-ins anyways because I'm fucking here. But at this point, I think I can pretty easily say that like I typically wouldn't do my makeup with a foundation that like I have to wait longer than 3 hours for it to settle in, you know? Like there are some foundations that like they're not my favorite when I put them on, but they look better throughout the day, so like I don't really care. But this one is like, it's not my favorite when I put it on, and it's not my favorite 3 hours later, and it's not my favorite, you know, I'm sure 6 hours from now and all that. So not loving it. I feel like I should be able to sue for damages. And I feel like I'm still, even though this is the thing, I've completed my purchase, Il Makiage. Okay, so like I want to be left alone now on Facebook to grieve. And I don't think that's going to happen, which is unfair. So I understand that's not how marketing works, and yet it should be. So yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to do another update in a little bit. I'm going to record my outro right now though, because who knows what's going to fucking happen. I don't know who I am anymore. It's been about 6 hours. I think we can do this check-in, see where we're at. And I feel like I personally, for me and my own benefit, will have a pretty good indication of whether or not this is going to be a product I invest time and effort into, okay? It's not the worst. It's certainly not the best. This is probably how I should start doing reviews. This seems like a good idea to me. I'll give like the top feature and the worst con. Pro and con, I guess one would call that. I think the best thing about this foundation is that it seems to be staying on quite well and fairly evenly too. Like I have a little bit coming off on my chin and like a little bit of breaking up on my nose and stuff like that, but other than that, for the most part, it's stayed on pretty evenly. I think the worst part to me is the fragrance, which I don't even know if it is. I'm going to quickly check if it's like a fragrance or if it's just the smell of the alcohol, or possibly both. They have a few different types of alcohol in there, and there is fragrance in there too. They talk about hyaluronic acid being in there, and it's pretty low on the list. I'd be kind of interested to know whether or not the hyaluronic acid was put in at like a marketing level, which means that it's not actually doing anything, or if it was put in at like an active level. And I'm kind of assuming it wasn't put in at an active level because this is a pretty dry foundation. Oh God, my fucking eyes, man. This is so brutal. My lowest lows are that I feel like it's quite dry, and that in turn makes my skin look more textured, and then the fragrance is like otherworldly. I would feel less annoyed by the fragrance if it dissipated fairly quickly. Like if I, put it on and then like within 5 minutes or so, like you can't really smell it anymore. But I was trying to kind of like keep an eye on the time of when I felt like I could stop smelling the foundation on my face. And it was like well over an hour after, which that's a pretty long time to like still be smelling the fragrance and the alcohol and stuff like that. And it was just so strong that it was like, I just wouldn't, it was like similar to like my Milk baked bronzer. Like I love that bronzer, but like it just started smelling, it always smelled bad, but it started smelling so bad that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta cut myself off. So yeah, I think it's a no for me, and that's it. That's all she wrote. If you guys have tried a foundation recently that you've really been loving, I love trying new foundations. It's my favorite pastime. I mean, I'd love to stop, I follow my girl Hannah Louise Poston, and she's so great. She's such a good channel. Like if you feel really overwhelmed because like you overspend on makeup and stuff like that, and you just maybe want to like edit down your collection or whatever, she's such a great channel for like really promoting like conscious spending. And I wish I could be more like her. I do, but I can't. I can to an extent, but like then there's this other part of me that's just like, but I want to try all the foundations, you know? Anyway, I think that's fucking it for me. Thanks for hanging out and chatting, and I already did an outro, so back to you, Sam. Go ahead. So I can't look at the camera. That's my review with my Il Makiage foundation that I was literally forced to buy by targeted ads. And my thoughts, I'm sure I've summed up at some point in the video, and I can't look at the camera because my eyes are so fucking sensitive and it's becoming a real problem. So I will see you guys next time, or maybe I won't, because with the eye situation, I don't know where this is gonna fucking end up.